Hey, ladies and gents, and welcome back to Controlled Interest, where we talk about video games and everything happening in the industry. Episode 12. As always, I'm joined by Jordan and Dominic. What's up, guys?
Hola, mi amigos.
Yeah, hola, definitely.
So, getting into what we've been playing this week. I said last week I was going to be playing through Lords of the Fallen, but I actually forgot that I had bought the season pass for Trials Fusion, which is a 2D, timed game that's really difficult. Takes everything I love about 2D platformers, which is interesting because I don't normally like racing games, but this game's all about timing and trying to finish the level as fast as you can with as few faults. So I got into that and I played the last 4 DLC packs. I think it came out with 6, and those came out a long time ago. I just forgot I had them. So I've been playing a lot of that, just because I don't have Dark Souls 3, so I wanted something to really piss me off. And that game's really good at that. So I've just been playing Trials Fusion. I actually got into the Paragon beta, which is the MOBA from Epic, and it's pretty cool. I don't think they're doing anything crazy to change the MOBA genre. It doesn't entice me to want to play it more, but it's there and it was interesting to play. It looks better than all of them, but it doesn't play better. So that was kind of disappointing. I don't think it did everything I wanted it to do, but I've only played one game. But the art style is really cool, and like I said, it looks really pretty. It looks better than any other MOBA out there. A lot better than a lot of games. Because it's Epic. They're very familiar with the Unreal Engine, so obviously their games are going to look fantastic. Just Trials Fusion, Paragon. There was something else. I've been playing Minecraft a little bit. I think that's pretty much it. Not been playing too much really. What about you guys?
So I've been doing a couple things. I picked up, as you guys know, the original Legend of Zelda on 3DS Virtual Console, and also Super Mario Bros. 3. So going back in time a little bit here to play some NES games. And this could be a whole topic for another day, I guess, but it's interesting. It's something like I feel like I should do because I should know, especially Zelda. I mean, a franchise I love. I've never played the original, right?
Yeah.
It's old. I'll say that much.
It's different too.
It's very different. I've always been in love with how Dark Souls kind of plops you in a world without any context. The original Legend of Zelda, famously, literally, just you start the game and you're just in a field and that's it.
Yeah.
They don't tell you anything. You don't have any weapons. So, for example, when I started, didn't have a weapon. I didn't go in that first cave like you're supposed to. I went along a path and wandered around for 10 minutes without a sword, trying to survive. And it didn't work great because it doesn't control very well.
Yeah.
It was made in 1980, whatever. But so eventually I found the sword and it's a little bit better. But then also I picked up Pokemon Y. And that will be a topic later in the show today, so I'll get into that a little later. So
Awesome. A lot of mobile action, it seems like, right?
Yeah, the 3DS is, I don't get a ton of time to play console-esque games, right? So, but I can just cram hours into my 3DS, so.
Jordan, what about you? You step on Persona yet, or are you still Witcher 3ing it up?
Yeah, I haven't gotten back to Persona quite yet, but have no fear that will get done before episode 20.
Where the hair goes.
Yeah, exactly. Originally today I was going to make my topic about Quantum Break impressions, but decided to go with something else, so I guess I'll use this time to give you guys my thoughts on the game. I am midway through Act 4 out of 5, so I'm getting pretty close to the end of the game. And I've been thinking about this a lot recently, but so far this is my game of the year. Yeah, Quantum Break, man, I'm in love with it. As I said last week, I think it's miles ahead of Uncharted 4 as far as third-person action adventure and third-person shooters. And something I wanted to point out was this whole TV show thing that they do in between the acts. I know a lot of people have talked about it already, but for me, I see the fact that Remedy thinks, or not that they think, they're trying to, kind of revolutionize the industry in a certain way and change how things are done and change how a story's told in a video game. And to be honest, I wouldn't say that they've like completely revolutionized anything at all. These are just like 20-25 minute episodes of this show that for the most part doesn't interact very much with the main characters of the game except for the villains. And so it's really supplementary. I mean, honestly, I think you could just play the game without the show and you would be okay. There really wouldn't be too much lost on you. But I do think that they're making important strides in storytelling, and I think that this was a risk and a chance that they took that paid off. Like I said, I don't think they're revolutionizing anything, but I think they're really just the tip of the iceberg. And I think they're going to be the first ones that you see where you can kind of look down the road and see how a lot of other studios, game development studios, would take a cue from the way Remedy told the story in this game. So I don't think everybody's just going to start like adding web shows to their video games. But I think that this will get the industry thinking outside the box. And I did talk about the fact that I think, my favorite part of Uncharted 4 was definitely the story, and Naughty Dog are certainly great storytellers, but I really want to applaud Remedy for, I mentioned the fact that I felt like Uncharted 4 was just lacking any innovation whatsoever. And even though I said I don't think they're revolutionizing storytelling here, I think they're definitely pushing it in a new direction, and I really appreciate that from Remedy. So those are my impressions on Quantum Break. Really awesome. Time powers are so much fun to play with. Feels kind of like Infamous, which of course I love. And I would 100% recommend this to anybody that has an Xbox and a PC and likes third-person action adventure. Besides that, though, I think I just played Quantum Break and Witcher Hearts of Stone this week. Got pretty far into Hearts of Stone, probably about a little less than halfway through with that campaign, trying to do all the side missions and all the treasure hunts and the Witcher contracts and all that. So I'm really digging into it. Like I said, it's kind of more of just the same awesome game that I've come to know and love over the past year. And I think they are going to be doing... It seems to me like the second expansion, Blood and Wine, is going to be more different than the main game. They're going to be changing a lot of things up. So for this first expansion, I think they did a really good job of introducing new characters and giving you new things to do. They added rune crafting as a mechanic, and so there's all kinds of cool new stuff in there. If you like The Witcher, I'd totally recommend it because it's a great expansion pass. So that's what I've been playing.
So let's get right into the news here, guys. So the first story is a rumor, but there was a leaked poster. The story comes by way of Game Informer Ben Reeves. Destiny's new expansion may be called Rise of Iron. According to a reportedly leaked Destiny poster, Bungie's epic online shooter's next expansion may be called Rise of Iron, which makes sense because they have the Iron Banner in that game. I think that's what it's called.
Yeah.
The studio is working on another expansion to bridge the gap to the next title. Destiny fans are eagerly awaiting more content. I jumped off the Destiny bandwagon before Taken King. I felt that game was very lackluster in its content. And I didn't feel like paying them an extra $40 to get a game I should have got with my first $60 I spent on the game. That's just the way I personally take it. I had fun with Destiny. By no means were the gameplay mechanics bad. The shooting mechanics were second to none. But the game itself was very lacking. To Jordan's point, this would probably be what I would say the opposite of Uncharted 4, where they nail all of the gameplay, but there's literally no story. And to Dom's point of, I know Dom loves Uncharted 4, and I would take a game with story with subpar, in some people's opinions, mechanics, than a game with fantastic game mechanics and literally no story that I care about. That's just the way I look at it personally. So after that Destiny news, we have a really quick, it's not really a news story, but over on the Japanese Pokemon Twitter account, they basically stated that, last week we got the trailer showing us the new starters. On June 2nd, we're going to get more news, which I assume is going to be, I don't know, more Pokemon, could be more... We already know what's taking place in Hawaii. We already know the characters are a lot more humanistic like they look a lot more proportionate. We know that we've seen the rival, so I don't know what else they could show that'd be super important. Maybe there's stuff that like huge Pokemon. Like I love Pokemon, but I don't know what else I would need to see. I'm already buying the game, But I guess there's going to be some new announcements on June 2nd, which is in time for everything else leading up to E3. Speaking of E3, this comes by way of IGN. And Marty Sleva, everyone's favorite podcaster that's on almost everything IGN at this point, he says Rockstar Games' next projects will be revealed soon. Whether it'll be the long-rumored Red Dead Redemption 2 remains to be seen. Rockstar Games will be revealing some exciting future projects soon. This news came during Take-Two Interactive's quarterly earnings report. During the report, Rockstar's parent company explained, looking ahead, we expect to grow non-GAAP revenues and earnings in fiscal 2018, based on a robust development plan that extends well beyond the current fiscal year. Take-Two didn't specify what the future projects might be or whether they'd be revealed at next month's E3. This news follows a recent report leaked of the currently unannounced Red Dead 2's map, which also pointed to the game taking place prior to the original. Rockstar's latest full release was Grand Theft Auto 5, which was scored a 10, saying that it's an amazing world, yada yada yada, talking about GTA 5. What do you guys think Rockstar will announce, if they will announce at E3, and do you think we're going to be getting a game this year?
So I heard a different rumor that none of anything they're working on is going to release in 2016. That the next thing they're going to release will be March or spring 2017 at the earliest. So, and I think that will be Red Dead 2. But then I think they also have something else in the pipeline, so like a new IP or some sort of spin-off of GTA. I don't think we're going to see a GTA 6 quite yet, but that's my guess.
Yeah, I think it'll be a while before we see GTA 6, hopefully.
I'm wondering if they're kind of screwing the pooch with this whole Red Dead 2 thing.
I don't know if you found the story or not, Dom, but you said you wanted to talk about NVIDIA releasing some new PC gamer nerd stuff.
Yeah, some weird nerd teraflops and some other crazy business.
Mega
teraflops.
Mega tups.
Yeah, so a few weeks ago, NVIDIA announced 2 new graphics cards. And the review embargoes recently got lifted, so now there's reviews up. And essentially, they've cut in half like the price to performance ratio, or I guess maybe doubled it. Essentially, for $600 now, you can buy a single graphics card that will play any game at ultra settings at 4K resolution at a full 60 FPS, which has never happened before in a single card. And previously, you would probably need 2 cards costing a total of like $1,200 to do anything like this. So it's getting much more and more affordable to game at 4K on PC. So just some cool things I wanted to bring up. If anyone's into PC gaming here, I mean, it's really got me wondering whether or not I want to buy a Neo this fall, assuming that's what happens, or maybe I build another PC. Obviously, it's a bigger cost, but it might be more worth it compared to a Neo, which isn't going to do anything really at 4K compared to what a PC with this guy could do.
Homefront: The Revolution came out this week to less than stellar reviews. And a lot of people are actually pointing that towards its terrible frame rate issues. A lot of people are having very bad frame rate issues. The story I'm talking about comes from Game Informer by way of Mike Futter. The headline reads, Dambuster promises to fix Homefront: The Revolution's problems. Dambuster is actually the developer who worked on the game. They're owned by publisher Deep Silver. And it states, while we haven't finished putting Homefront: The Revolution through its paces, our early impressions aren't terribly flattering. Dambuster has acknowledged the game's glaring problems. In his look at the cooperative resistance mode, Jeff Cork had some less than positive things to say about the game's performance. Even after installing the latest update, Homefront: The Revolution runs poorly on the PlayStation 4. The frame rate sputters around, occasionally hitting around 30 FPS, but dipping regularly. It makes the shooting, which already feels mushy and unfulfilling, virtually unplayable at times. Jeez. Dambuster agrees about the frame rate. In a post on the official forums from community manager Greg Turner, the company lays out the forward. It has been a long road for us and we're only getting started. But we're also aware that performance, particularly frame rate, is not currently where we want it to be, and we are working on it through additional patches to help address these issues. So I think this, really quick before we get into your guys' thoughts on this, I think this had to do with this game getting out there. This game was in development hell for a very long time, at least the Homefront as a franchise. And I think Deep Silver is probably pushing these guys to get this game out because we've heard about this game for so long, and they're like, just get this game done, just get this game done, just get this game done. And I think they had a deadline that they couldn't move around. They're not Naughty Dog where they can delay it. They're not these big studios. They're these guys that are handling this IP that was purchased, and I think they were like, we have to hit this deadline, and I don't think they necessarily got the testing that they needed to get done, the alpha and beta testing, the performance testing, and they had to release a shitty product. And I think now the developer has to sit here and make customers not put their name in the dirt because it's something they had to deal with the publisher, right? That's what I'm feeling from this anyways.
I'm with you. And after what we just heard about Battlefront cutting short what the game should have been to hit a release date, that's at least better than releasing a product that doesn't even work.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's not great either. I mean, obviously money is on their minds, but at least Battlefront worked and worked really well for what it had. But this is, from what I've heard, this is not good. I don't know how you can release a product like this at this scale. I mean, this should be a big game. Like, I don't know. I don't know how they let this go.
And Deep Silver isn't that big of a publisher, so to me, I think they were trying to meet deadlines probably for investors, and they're not a big publisher to begin with. So I think it was completely a money thing. And I mean, something might come out later that we found out it was the developer's fault, not necessarily the publisher. Who knows? But I think at this point, Dambuster, I don't want to fault them for it. I think they're going to work their hardest to get these patches out to make the game run right. I really think this was a publishing issue. Now Dambuster's name is thrown in the dirt. They're like, these guys can't deliver a good game, So, I don't know. It's unfortunate.
Honestly, I feel like Dambuster's damned if they do, damned if they don't.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, he was going to piss someone off. Either the game's late or it's not good, right?
Yeah.
Well, and I just feel like, people should be counting their stars here because it's a miracle this game even came out, period. I mean, this, development hell is understating it completely. This game was just all kinds of crazy. Like, Crytek used to be working on this game, and they had employees just start walking out because of the fact that they hadn't been paid in months. Like, this game has been drugged through the mud and then some. So, the people that are paying $60 for it, they don't care how long it took to develop or
they want to
what
play
kind of hell it went through. They want a good game. So I get that too. That sucks for them,
I think the best thing Dambuster can do is one of two things. They can obviously get these patches out as fast as they possibly can, right, and make sure the game runs well. And they have 2 points to move forward to get in the good graces of gamers. They can either A, release a stellar DLC that's amazing, right, that just blows everything out of the water. Maybe it's even better than the original game, and it works perfectly fine. And they're like, this is what we're actually capable of when we have our timeline, when we can make a game when we want to make it, right, without having to push deadlines. Or two, if that's not their, if the sales aren't great, maybe they do have an opportunity to make a next Homefront game, right? And maybe at that point they do have the time to invest in the next Homefront, whatever it happens to be. I think they have opportunities to get in the good graces of gamers. I think until more information is out there, I think we need to treat this as a publishing issue. And, I think look at Deep Silver to be troubled. Don't look at Dambuster. I don't think it's their fault, This is a Deep Silver issue. But alas, we don't know until all the information comes out. Our last story here comes by way of Kotaku. Brian Ashcraft writes, Hideo Kojima isn't making a new game engine, which is surprising to a lot of people because people know that he is very particular about his video games. And, for instance, with Metal Gear Solid 5, they made the Fox engine from the ground up, which took forever. But obviously it paid off because that game looks fantastic. And unfortunately, like Jordan and I were talking about before the show, it probably is the only game that'll feature that engine, unless it's their Pro Evolution Soccer game. But so the story writes, thankfully for his upcoming PS4 game, Hideo Kojima won't go back to the game engine drawing board, at least for now. He states, I honestly think it's better to make your own engine and tools. However, since I want people to play the first title as soon as possible, we're going to use a third-party engine, tune it for our needs, and create with that. For the past few months, Kojima has been jetting around the world, meeting with other game developers and visiting studios. Kojima added that the reason was to look at what kind of development tech and tools were available. Now that Kojima will be using a third-party game engine, does that mean we can expect that big AAA title sooner rather than later? I can't say when, Kojima told the audience, but I'd like everyone to play it as soon as possible, but this will take time. So, Kojima, I think, really just wants to push out another game because he knows he makes good games, right? And I think that... Is Sony publishing this next game? I'm not too familiar. Are they
Yes,
publishing
I
the
believe so.
Kojima Productions game?
No, it's a console exclusive for PlayStation 4, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be on PC.
Okay. So it's
They're fronting the bill though, I believe,
I think they'll probably put some money towards it at
blank
least.
check.
to get that exclusivity. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that I think he has every right to do whatever he wants at this point. He has a proven track record, and I think this is awesome news for PlayStation gamers because you don't have to wait. You'll have to wait a little bit, but I don't think you're gonna have to wait forever. So I'm not a big Metal Gear guy, but I respect Kojima for what he's done for the industry. Are you guys excited that he's going to be using a third-party engine, or would you guys like to wait longer for his own specified engine?
Time will tell, but he's the kind of the guy I feel that people would follow him off a cliff if he told them that there was a good game at the bottom that he made. So, I mean, he's worth trusting. He has the reputation, so I trust him.
I had actually been thinking about this a lot before you brought this up today, Jared. Because I was thinking about how they had built the Fox engine for MGS5 and how it sucks that he just can't use that anymore, yet he was an integral part of its creation. And so I was thinking, a lot these past couple days, like since he revealed that character model from the game, is he going to build this whole new engine? Is he going to use something else? What will he use if he uses someone else's? And it doesn't seem to specify what engine he's going to use, correct?
Yeah, it doesn't specify. It just says he's going to be using a third-party engine, which I'm assuming since he was traveling around the world, he was figuring out what would look best or work best. So
yeah, I think he's going to go with Unreal 4 just because there's honestly no reason not to, unless you are going to make your own, which he isn't. So Unreal 4 seems like the right choice. It seems like the obvious choice. I mean, there's a few other engines out there, but I just don't think that any of them would suit him better than Unreal 4. So that's my guess. Even though he says, this is going to help get the game out a little earlier, I'm still thinking it's not. I think we're going to be waiting until 2019 before we get to play this game, or even think about playing it, I guess. Yeah, I think it's good that he is skipping that one big step so that he can get down to work, but I mean, we all know how Kojima operates, and it's not at anyone else's pace than his own, especially now that he's, really in charge of his own deal. So I think he's going to take his sweet time, and I definitely think it's going to be a while before we get to play this one.
thank you guys for listening to the news portion of the podcast. We're going to be getting into the topics.
Thanks again, everyone, for watching and or listening. If you like what you heard, be sure to give those like and subscribe buttons a quick click. Every little contribution can help to make our channel grow. Also, be sure to follow us on Twitter at CTRLINT. That's Controlled Interest. See you later.